Good morning, everybody. Alrighty. So we are doing something new, as you can see. I'm the only one here. You are at your comfortable, warm home on this balmy 7 degrees day. It was really cold. But I hope you enjoy our SilverSneakers Classic class. It'll be about 45 minutes, a little bit shorter than normal, but any workout is a good workout in my book. So if you guys want to try and make sure that you're comfortable, nothing in the area around you that's going to trip you up or make you slip on your bottom. And then we'll just start stretching our arms up. Stretch those arms, stretch all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. Another deep stretch. I'm so used to wearing that thing that I realize I am by myself. I do not have to wear a mask. Here we go. And we'll go one more for good measure. Bring those arms, stretching them across. Hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. Whatever you may have done. And reach those arms in front. Stretch them out. Grabbing all the leftovers. Speaking about food. And reach on down. Pick up all the garbage bags. Just kidding. Hopefully you don't have this many. And just roll those arms back and forth. Hope everyone has some water nearby. We'll be getting a couple drinks throughout the time. I know water is always something that some people are really good at drinking and others are not. So I'm going to remind you. And opposite direction. All right, we're going to march it out. My fingertips are still trying to find some blood flow from being outside. And you pump those arms. Bring forward. And bring them on out. And bring them both down. All right, bring those knees up a little bit. Make sure everything's moving nice and fluidly. I know these cold temperatures tend to make us want to just put a nice blanket on our lap a lot. But we do need our bodies to move around, so glad you're here. All right, bring those legs up behind you. However high you can. If you can kick your butt, that's awesome. If you cannot, that's awesome too. All right, just keep it all marching. Again, if you need a drink of water at any time, take as many drinks of water as you can, as long as you keep moving. Arms out and in. Well, pretty much the day after Thanksgiving, my household put up our Christmas decorations. We've been enjoying their Christmas lights already. And bring one hand forward, one hand forward. And reach them up to the sky. Well, being that we just had Thanksgiving, if anyone needs to get ready for Christmas dinner, the Y is selling rustic inn pies for $20. So you can buy as many pies as you want, throw them in your freezer, maybe even throw them in your garage since it's nice and chilly out there. Save them for as whenever you want to eat them. And all the money goes towards YMCA scholarships. So, who doesn't like pie? No one. But. All right, reach those arms on down. Maybe you're also thinking like, hey, Amy has some equipment that I don't, hiding underneath this chair. Some light weights or a ball or a stretchy band, and I don't have any of those things. Totally fine. You don't need any of those things for this class, but if you would like them, you can rent equipment through the YMCA. So if you need a nice set of light weights, or maybe a nice set of big weights that you want to carry around, you can rent that through the YMCA. And bring those arms all the way around. And smooth the waters. And kick those heels on up. Chop those hands through the air. And a little bit higher. Now, if you are a regular attendee of some of my classes, you know that I bring jokes to class. And I did bring jokes, but they are sitting coldly in my car. So, we will be hearing jokes hopefully on Thursday, if you decide to join me again. My niece and nephew graciously are giving me some jokes as well. Good old 10 and 12-year-old humor. Hopefully that brings a smile to your guys' faces. And go 2 arms on out. And go 1 up, 1 down. Part of me always wishes that I had pom-poms in my hands right about now. That would be quite fun. If you have pom-poms in your home, you should get them for next class. That would be great. is a good time to get some water. And keep that march going. And tap those feet side to side. Always make sure that you're kind of checking in with yourself, seeing how you are. Is my breathing getting a little bit much? Maybe you need to slow it down. Or maybe you're like, I could do this all day. Awesome. All right, we're going to switch those feet going back. Into the lunge. Get ready for those cross-country skiing. You know, I've seen some people out there. I'm sure it's pretty fast since we haven't had a lot of snow, but nice to see people out there. All right, well, let's keep on marching it out. Kind of near the end of our little cardio sesh. Going into some balance work afterwards. So again, make sure you have a nice little runway around you. So no random things lying on the ground, pieces of paper. All right, it's 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Back to those real easy dance lessons. Even if you don't call yourself a dancer, pretty sure you can handle this. All right, take some deep breaths. Heart rate slow down a wee bit. One more deep breath if you need one. And we'll start into some of our balance work. So you can always hold on to the chair. I highly recommend holding on to something stable and not something that will slide away from you. Just in case you need it. If you don't, you can walk away, just like so. But we're gonna do a little heel to toe, walking a couple steps forward, a couple steps back. If you're really great, you can walk all the way back. Saunter on down the street. Wave to everyone. Do it a couple times. So you're kind of near your home again. Then we're going to leave that 1 foot in front of the other. Hold it there. Good time to check your posture. Making sure you're standing nice and tall. You're not bouncing or wobbling in any way. Or if you are, hold on to your chair. And you can always test the theory, see if 1 foot in front of the other makes a difference, right or left. Sometimes it does, surprisingly so. Right. And similar motion, you're gonna roll, put that 1 foot in front of the other. I have my right foot. You're just rolling back and forth, all the way in your toes and heels, making your whole foot touch the ground. And do a couple on that side, switcheroo to the other side. Left foot forward for me. And if you put your right and left and got those mixed up, good thing you only have 2 legs. Hopefully you hit them up both, you'll be fine. All right, standing about shoulder width apart. You're gonna reach from those hips, stretching forward, giving a good stretch to the back of your legs. Touch off to the side, off to the other side. All right. And again, hold on to your chair if you need to. You're gonna lift one of your legs up high. Doesn't have to be crazy high, just off the ground. And if you like, you can just move them around. Maybe that helps you. Maybe you like to tap your toes. I have the beat of the music. Hopefully you guys are hearing something. All right, switcheroo. Bring that other leg on up. On the ground. A couple more balance exercises. All right, well, if you need any more water, good time to grab some. Next thing you will be using, I'm going to be using the ball. If you do not have any of these little spherical objects, just grab something soft that you can hold onto and throw up in the air. Could even be a pillow for what it's worth. That way, if you drop it on your toes, you're not gonna hurt yourself. But once you have that in your hand, just juggle back and forth, juggle back and forth. And go a little bit further. Go as close together as possible. See how speedy your fingers can be. And if it's just like this, that's cool. But if you can get faster, test yourself out. And see if you can move yourself on up. All right, bring it on down to the stomach. Roll around. You can either roll or you can just hand it off. And see if you can switch around. Go that way, go the other way. You know, make sure that your brain's working. For some of you, this may be a little early. All right, throw them around your head. Again, you can toss them or you can roll them around your neck. Whatever feels better for you. All right, put them in one hand, palm the ball, squeeze it with those fingers. And again, even if you don't have a ball and you have something soft, that makes it better. Hopefully, even if it's a pillow soft, it'll make you feel really strong, right? This ball is kind of slippery. And go rolling up and down. Kind of work that bicep. And hand them off to the other one. Squeeze that ball. Ball's kind of greasy. And bring them on down and on up. And bring them in that hand. Roll them up your body. All the way to the other hand. Roll them across. You're that fancy person that can just roll it across. That's awesome. All right, one hand, toss them high, all the way up. Get that full arm extension. All right, and we'll be all done with this guy. toss them off to the side. Get some more water if you need any. I'm doing pretty good. I had some tea this morning, so my liquids are pretty good. All right, next thing you'll need is something heavy. If you do not have a set of light weights, grab, say, like soup cans. Maybe you just have a really heavy pair of shoes or something like that. Laundry. Whatever it might be that you can easily hold on to that you can do a couple reps. And again, if you don't have them, you're still doing range of motion. That still counts. So once you are ready, you can do these seated or standing. Everything that we do today, you can do it seated at all times. Just remember that. I'll try to modify a little bit more just to make sure that I show everyone that there are always options in every exercise that we do. So we're gonna do some bicep curls. Palms are gonna face forward. Stick those elbows close to your hips and bring them on up. Saw a statistic that said Black Friday sales were down in store, as you can imagine, but online sales were up like 9 million or 9 billion or some ridiculous amount. So people still need to get their presents somewhere. All right, flip those arms over. So your palms are facing your thighs. Then you're gonna bring that elbow up and down. I'm just going to alternate. You can always bring both of them up at the same time if that feels comfortable, but I'm just going to go with this. Remember to go nice and slow. Weightlifting is definitely something where if you're going a little too fast or your body's not moving in the way that we are created to move, something's gonna hurt, and we do not want that to happen. I know I can't see your faces, but those are the type of comments that people leave on YouTube where you're like, hey, I was watching this and this person said this. So just know that if something hurts, stop doing it. And I hope by this point in your life that you know better. Listen to your body. Arms out. Again, make sure that you're nice, good posture. You're gonna bring that arm up and out. And again, I'm kind of shooting my arm out a little bit less than a 45 degree. Your shoulder will thank you. And again, this is one where you can go both arms at the same time if you so choose. I'm going to alternate. Remember to breathe. I know it's cold out, but we don't need anyone to be purple or blue while they're working out. Staying nice and pink is always a good color. All right, last one on each side. One and done. All right, kind of move those shoulders around. Make sure all is well. Next, we're gonna do our triceps. So you put those on your hips, and you're just gonna kick it on back behind you. I'll turn so you can see me a little bit better. Your arm is just going directly behind you, nice and slow, controlled motion. We don't need anyone going like this. We're not doing a little dance. We're lifting weights. Can't say that I've seen any programs like that before, so we're not gonna start one right now. I'm sure some of you could think of some unique exercise things that have gone through over the years. whether it be people wearing bathing suits and leotards or leaping around, whatever it may be. There's been a lot of different ways throughout the years. All right, I'm gonna switch sides, bring that arm on back. One of my favorites is there's a woman who started a program called Prancercise, and as you can imagine, she walks down sidewalks, much like the lake walk, and she prances. It's nice and easy on your joints. People may look at you, but you're getting exercise, so feel free to look that up sometime. It's quite wonderful. All right, we'll go 2 more. 1 and 2. All right, we'll throw in one more exercise for weights. We'll bring those up by our shoulders. Again, shoulder width apart, feet nice and stable. I'm gonna bring one arm up at a time. You know, growing up, my mother also was an exercise instructor sometimes. She made all the time, took all the time and found all the right music, put it on a cassette player, which would have took a lot of time to put all that music on a cassette, if you've ever made a mixtape. And it was just done with local people, just like yourself. All right, one more each side. 1 and done. So you can toss these to the side. Make sure they're in an area that you're not going to trip on them. Get some more water. All right, next we're going to move on with our stretchy band. Maybe you have those stretchy bands that do not have handles. Totally use those as well. Pretty much the same idea. And if you don't have any equipment at all, you're still going to gain that range of motion. Just moving around, especially after we've been sitting around for so long, is just a great thing. Even I can notice that my body feels better this morning just by coming to class. All right, so I put my right foot inside. I'm going to hold on to my chair just in case, or at least be near it if I need it. Again, make sure you have space in front of you and behind you. I have long legs, but you know, I shouldn't be able to kick the wall. I'm not that gigantically long. So bring that foot forward. And again, you can bring it lower, you can bring it high. Don't have to be one of those like dancer kicks. Unless you are a dancer, then thumbs up to that. All right, one more right here. Let that hip relax a little bit. Then we're gonna shoot it off to the side. When you're bringing your leg up to the side, make sure that it's not going straight out. Make sure that it's a little bit behind your hip socket or a little bit in front. Again, your hip joint will thank you for moving it in a direction that is a little bit more palatable than going straight out to the side. Again, notice how my body tries to keep straight. I'm not leaning. We're not doing kickboxing right now. All right, one more right here. Standing tall. Maybe move those hips around if you need to. And we're gonna shoot it off to the back. Bit of a donkey kick. And if you think that you're using this band and you're like, you know, this is really easy, hike it up a little bit. Or if you want it to be a little easier, bring that arm down. All right, last one right here. And we'll wander over to the other side, put that other foot inside. Don't trip over anything, please, and thank you. Always be careful. I have been known to trip over a lot of things too, but hopefully today is not the day. So, once you are ready, bring that foot on forward. Somehow have gotten through this time with all this ice without wiping out in any way. There's been times, but somehow have held on, stayed on my feet, as I hope that you guys are too. All right, one more right here. Move those hips if you need to. Make sure all is well. And we're going to shoot it off to the side. And make sure your heel is kind of a little bit to the back, or you can always put your toes to the front. Whatever feels nice. Try a couple ways out. It's good to be in tune with your own body. Make sure that you are moving it appropriately, and so you'll be able to walk away after class and not give me a phone call to be like, Amy, what is going on? Again, you're more than welcome to give me a call anyway. Check up on me. I'm doing okay. And I hope you guys are too. All right, one more in here. Move those hips around, make sure all is well. And we're going right behind. Again, make sure your upper body is not moving quite as much. You don't need to bow or anything like that. All right, last one right here. We'll take that off our foot. Hold it up in front. You can either hold on just by gripping it, or you can hold on wrapping that around your wrist. And actually keep it in front and just stretch it across. Again, if you do not have a band, you're just doing that motion, stretching your chest open. Same thing. This just adds a little bit more resistance. And again, if you're like, I really would like a piece of equipment to use in class, remember, you can rent it from the Y. Exercise bands are also a pretty cheap thing to buy yourself. So either way, there are options, remember. All right, do little tiny little pulses. Make sure all those muscles are working. Toss this to the side. Make sure he's out of the way, that he won't trip on anything. Get some more water if you need some. Then we'll go into a stretching time. Again, stretching is one of those things that some people don't always do, but it is one of those things that just helps our muscles relax, gets rid of all the acids and such, depending on how hard of a workout you've done. And it also helps to make sure that our blood doesn't pool in spots that it should not be pooling. We want our blood flowing nice and fluidly at all times. We don't need to deal with any of those other things. All right, I'm going to take a seat for some of the stretches, and then I'm going to stand up for the rest of them. Always options. So you bring that arm, bring it across your body, stretch around across. It's nice to see the sun shining this morning, despite the cold day. The frost was quite beautiful. It's always nice to see the sun shining on the trees and such. All right, relax that arm. Bring that other one across. And remember, when you're stretching your arms across, don't hold on to your elbow. You always want to stretch above or below that joint. So if you want to hug yourself like this, you can do that, or you can hold down by your forearm. All right, relax that arm. You're going to bring that arm up, throw it on by behind the nape of your neck. And if that's good enough, you can stay there, or you can push your arm up a little bit further. Stretching that tricep back here. All right, bring that arm down, other one up, and on the back of your neck. Open that arm up a little bit more if you need to. Well, I hope everyone has been keeping themselves busy. We have a nice amount of classes. There's a bunch of more SilverSneakers. Pretty sure you can do SilverSneakers every day if you really want to. Hang out with either Heidi or I. That will fill your schedule a little bit more. Or there's yoga, there's strength and conditioning, there's a bunch of things. So test them out if you want to. See what you can do, see what you're like, I don't really like this. That's fine. At least you tried it out. Bring those arms, you're gonna stretch them on behind. You can either just hold them behind or hold onto the chair if you need to. I've always been taught that you should give something at least a couple chances to see if you like it or not. Maybe you just had an off day, maybe you just had an off morning, things like that, but always give things a little bit of a chance. See what you can do, test your limits. All right, bring those arms all the way around, give yourself a big hug or a pat on the back if you need one. Living in this time where we can't even hug one another sometimes. You can pretend. All right, roll those wrists around. I'm going to transition to standing. We're going to stretch our legs. And you can bring those arms up all the way around. Couple to the back and then switch those arms, couple to the front. All right, and standing tall. I'm going to bring legs a little bit further than hip width apart. Where you're going to stretch, so you're stretching your inner thigh right here. All right, off to the other side. Bending that leg. Well, hopefully you decided that you're like, you know, this felt really good this morning. Maybe I should come back. Well, I'm gonna be here again on Thursday, same time, same place. So come on over. Next stretch, you're just gonna put that heel on the ground, toe up high. Get ready to bow if you need to. And off to the other side. You're gonna roll your ankle around, a little double duty. And switcheroo, last leg. Putting that foot down. You're gonna step into a bit of a lunge. Doesn't have to be a crazy big lunge. Back of that leg's gonna kind of straighten out, stretching all the back of your thigh, as well as your calf muscle. Someone also pointed out that this is also a warrior pose for those yogis out there. Time to catch up on your deep breathing. Make sure that your heart rate is calmed down a little bit more. And switch sides. And again, make sure that your posture is straight up and tall. You're not leaning or anything like that. Maybe you're a little tired, but you know, this is the end of class. You can make it like 2 more minutes. Standing tall, and we'll just kind of stretch our ankles out a little bit more. Bring those heels off the ground. See if you can test yourself by not bringing your heels to the ground as well. And do that opposite motion, bringing those toes up. Don't bring them up at the same time. Don't need to roll back on your bottom at all. Not the way to finish class. All right, bring those fingers. Make sure everything's calmed down. And standing tall. Take a nice deep breath in. You guys are welcome to leave any comments in the little comment section below. You can thumbs up or thumbs down even. Be honest, you know, I can handle it. One more for good measure. There we be. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you again on